packed show, full of chaos inside the outside the cage. From Vanderlei Silva bringing back his trademark wall energy after dirty boxing DQ to Jake Matthews losing a controversial decision against Neil Magny, and IShowSpeed Speed getting his ass whooped by one of the flashiest submission you ever see. Plus, we'll talk about Gable Stevenson upcoming dirty boxing match in Nashville and close with some of the excitement of the Smashing Machine, the upcoming Mark Kerr biopic starring The Rock and Emily Blunt. Let's get into it. It's going, man.
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, man. It's like it's been a while. I felt like freaking Vandala Silva still long in the tooth, still doing trying to do competing in dirty boxing in Brazil because Brazil is wild on in it by itself.
Mm.
And do you see what how did it all started that craziness happened for that match?
Well, it was a pretty aggressive match in general, right? And then Vanderlei got some headbutts and elbows in,
Yeah,
something like that.
he trying to do some old school MMA technique, and then after it, well, I can understand what Verdum was talking afterwards. Just in Portuguese, trying to explain what happened. He said it was him, Vanderlei, one the other two corner were Dida and Thor. That's what their name. They name. And it
Hmm.
was a bunch of guys that jump in there trying to fight them. And the crazy thing, one of the guys, I don't know if he was the promoter or one of the guys in the other guy's corner, he was coming there with because he was holding the belt. He came in there. He's the one that knocked out Vanderlei Silva because he hit him on the back of the head first, and then he rocked him and dropped him afterwards. And Vanderlei still like he's still having like headaches and things like that. His
Yeah.
eyes just busted from the brawl.
Hmm.
And Verdun, he's not a small guy. He's throwing punches at everybody in there too.
Yeah. Yeah. That it turned into mayhem really quickly.
Yeah.
It kind of, the little bit I saw was a. It seemed like the fight between the fighters got a little bit out of control with the
Mm.
ref at first. With the headbutts and the elbows, and like understandably, yeah, that would piss me off too because that's not the rules. Um, but yeah, it really did not take long to escalate. It started, and then like yeah, it
They
got bad
fire.
really quickly. Yeah,
It's hard to stop. I can count how many people were in there. Who
right.
have, like because the ring got full fast. You know who was
Hmm.
going with who or what. But that's and Vanderlei is known for being one of those wild guys. Even when he was in Pride, I don't know if you heard of. I think his name was Charles. I can't remember his nickname was Felony, but he's one of the guys that was in Pride. That he was hilarious. Crazy Horse, Charles. That's his name was Crazy Horse.
Okay.
He was like I want to say 145, 155, something like that. He would like do backflips, you slam people, take him down. And during this, whenever they announced his name, he would like tear up a teddy bear, like making like crazy faces. But he was in backstage and he got in a brawl with Vanderlei Silva. He said he knocked out Vanderlei Silva in Pride in
Really?
backstage because he was staring at Charles for no reason. I can't remember what it was for. But he rocked. And Vanderlei is known for like getting into brawls backstage too. I mean, look at the Ultimate Fighter too. Remember what the video with Shelton?
Yeah.
For the Ultimate Fighter, they were the coaches they were announcing, trying to pick their guys in. And they're like, okay, we can fight right here. We don't need that. We can fight right now. And then Vanderlei, you can let you get this close and you just push them. They started fighting each other, and everybody jumping, trying to break the fight. I think Dida, one of his coaches, punch was punching Shelton in the back of the head during the brawl.
Damn.
Uh, and Bill's like crazy. Bill, he's a wild guy. Anyways, so it's crazy. Like you're too old for that. I mean, now you have a headache. Like, dude, you're too old for that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
Dang.
doing boxing after he got some like his face reconstructed with
Hmm.
plastic surgery. because I think one his nose, they have, in order for him to fix it, they have to get a cartilage from his rib. That's why his nose looked like that because his nose was completely collapsed.
Really?
Yeah, his
Oh
nose
my
was
gosh.
completely collapsed from fighting and getting knees and elbows.
Let's throw that all away for the
Yeah, for Cloud. Speaking of surgery, Bastrudin, he had a plastic surgery, but you can notice he said his nose they did a like a silicone. Instead of having bone, they have a
Mhm.
silicone right here in the middle for his septum.
Right.
So then he crushes it. You can like still like like it bends in, but
Hmm.
it's still fixed. It still has like that. His bridge of his nose. It does not affect his nose or his breathing.
Yep.
And he had it for years and years.
It is pretty cool. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, hearing him talk about that.
It's crazy because whenever he press his nose, it just collapses completely. Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck? You know?
yeah. It just looks so weird, but yeah, that's.
I think he was one of his students was the one that did it for him.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he was a plastic surgeon. He did plastic surgery for him.
Dang, that's a good
Yeah,
student to have.
yeah. It's Moneyberg right there. His name was
Right?
Moneyberg.
Yeah, right.
Oh, oh. No, other like speaking of other controversy inside the case, we're gonna talk about Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny match. That one was a crazy fight because that was the main event of Perth, Australia. Jake Matthews was fighting against Neil Magny. He caught him in a tight guillotine. And Neil Magnus went limp at the end of the first round. And the referee stopped the fight just before the horn sounded. But Neil Magny jumped up and he was protesting the referee's decision. But he sounded that the fight was over. It was just the end of the round,
Hmm.
and they just kept the fight going. First of all, is that healthy to keep going after he went out like that? But then afterwards, the thing about it was Matthews was submitted in the third round. Neil Magny,
Hmm.
which he lost the match. What do you think about that?
That's really rough. I know that sometimes those calls must be incredibly hard for the refs, um, because people going out can happen in so many ways. You know what I mean? Sometimes they go stiff as a board, sometimes they go completely limp, but also that could be just them escaping or relaxing. Yeah, it's really hard to make those calls. Uh, I don't know. I feel like, I, yeah, I don't know. That is so hard. It sucks that those situations happen, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, because it just depends. Some submissions you can't tell that they're
Right.
locked in and they're like get submitted. Um, because it could have gone the other way. Magny could have just get submitted at the beginning of the second round. Because I think that
Hmm.
happened with Paulo Filho and Charles and back when they were in WEC. It's for the light heavyweight title, I think it was, or middleweight title. Paulo Filho caught Chael in a triangle. Uh, Chael tapped once and they stopped the fight. And he said, like, no, he wasn't tapping. He was trying to get a submission. When they went back again, caught him again in the triangle. He submitted him. Again, the same triangle, which that could happen too. But this is the opposite. He lost the
Yep.
match, even though he thought he was winning.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you like to see the ones where, it happens again and they're able to like actually get it this time because then it leaves nothing to question. But this one, yeah, that's super unfortunate. I mean,
Yeah, the only other one that I can think of that was kind of controversial to that I think was in England. They have Enzo Silva versus Michael Bisping. They're going to say against each other. In Michael Bisping dropped his mouthpiece, and whenever he was trying to pick it up, Enzo Silva just threw a flying knee and knocked him out there. Like it was at the end of the round two.
mhm,
He was out, like completely flatlined him. But it was after the fact, and he was trying to pick up the mouthpiece. But Michael Bisping came back and was able to win the next round. So he won the fight.
mhm.
Despite he got like
Oh,
drop like crazy
yeah,
because Anderson was celebrating on top of the cage and everything. I was like, ooh, and then up losing the decision.
yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. That yeah, to come back from that,
Yeah,
that's
especially you getting rocked.
mm-hmm. Well, exactly. Yeah, that's yeah. That always seems to have a pretty big impact.
Yeah, especially you don't want to go like full out offense because you can get caught off. Especially somebody that's a good counter striker, as Anderson
Hmm.
Silva, as he was able to strike him.
Right. That really, yeah. An amazing comeback.
Yeah, but also you have to take consideration that could have been a 10-8 round after you got dropped like
True.
that.
Hmm.
So you had to go. You had the only way to win is if get a finish or get a 10-8 yourself.
Hmm.
So yeah, like some decisions you don't want to leave it up to the referees. You have to
Yeah.
put them out.
Most.
Yeah, you have to put them out. Just like yeah, dude, it is a combat sport. It is a sport at times, and people focus more on the sport side of it. But if you have the chance to go for the finish, just take it
Hmm.
because that's the takes away the uncertainty.
Right.
Ugh. It's like some having questionable decision. Um, but when I went to the PFL event, like there were like a couple of decisions that were like, dude, like how did the other guy win? Especially like the main event was one like that. One guy was like taking that guy down and was like dominating. He was one Khabib's guy. He was like dominating the
Hmm.
grappling exchange. Meanwhile, the other guy was doing strikes, stuff like that. And when the decision came, the guy that was getting taken down and getting like dominated for most of the match won the decision because he had more strikes.
Really.
I was like, how is that fucking possible? How is that even a match?
Right.
Somebody that got ragdoll on the ground.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, a takedown is worth so much more than a strike.
Yeah.
That's- Wow.
So I can just like I can take somebody down and he bursts my back for 5 minutes. That
Hmm.
guy because he burped me for 5 minutes, he's gonna win even though I'm on top, better position.
Right.
How much sense does that make? Well, yeah, some decisions are weird.
Hmm.
And then for example, New York is known for that,
Yeah.
for bad decisions. Some I can think of. Um, I think he's I can't remember his name right now. He's from Netherlands. Gegard Mousasi. He lost
Hmm.
a position. I think it was like a head, like a kick to the head or knee to the head. Where he was like, he had a guy in the front headlock,
Hmm.
but whenever he was throwing the knee, he picked up the guy. So he picked up his hand off the ground and threw the knee. So it's not 3 point contact.
Oh.
But because the way he initiated, they call it that was a 3 point contest. It was a DQ because of it. But it's not really technically a DQ if 2 point contact. You break the hand up
Right.
on the front headlock and through the knee. But they use DQ.
Dang. That. Yeah. Huh. Is that? Hmm. Is there some special rule like when the strike initiates, they can't be?
Well, they changed that now. I'm not because of that.
Okay.
Because what they will used to do whenever they'll get like grounded, they'll 3 point contest. You just put their fingers on the ground and they count that as the 3 point contact. But now it has to be palm on the ground and knees on the ground, not the bottom of your feet.
Okay. Hmm.
So you be considered 3 point contact.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can still get hit,
Hmm.
which is fair.
Right. No, that makes sense. I'm curious with the judging. How I should know this, but how subjective is it? Is it like set amount of like points for takedowns, strikes, significant strikes, or is it kind of up to the judge to say like, okay, he got this many takedowns?
It's up to the judges' criteria, I think. If
Hmm.
I can remember correctly, Cecil Peoples was the worst at this. Um, he didn't count leg strikes as strikes because they were not lethal. Like for example, the match between Shogun Rua and Lyoto Machida. Shogun Rua threw a lot of leg kicks because Lyoto Machida is known for leaping in and out. If
Hmm.
you wear out his legs, he takes away his footwork. You have
Right.
to slowly cook him to get like striking, keeping your range as a Muay Thai or kickboxing striking rather than
Hmm.
being leaping in and out like karate. That's how Shogun Rua lost the first match decision, close decision against Lyoto Machida was because seasonal people didn't consider like kicks as strikes. Well, the second match came out and Shogun Runs knocked out Little Machida, and then just to take it a judge decision. Some judges they don't consider um takedown as much. It's not like they're heavy on takedowns, which
Right.
they should be because it's hard to take somebody down.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That's the reason. Probably, I want to say that's the reason why the rounds in MMA are 5 rounds compared to 3 minutes in kickboxing,
Hmm.
because the takedown part and the grappling part is a lot difficult. It's hard to
Right.
hit somebody and hard to take somebody down.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, and I think we may have talked about it a long time ago. Is I think if MMA fights were like not rounds, they were just like one straight match, or if they were just much longer rounds, I think you'd see a lot more grappling.
Yes, because you have to worry about like getting stand up again because you have to
Right.
reserve some energy for taking getting back down or at least
Hmm.
get into the cage.
Right. That investment is so much more worth it if you have like minutes to hold them down, minutes to
Yeah,
wear them out after
yeah.
you've, yeah.
What do you think about the new way of, for example, the Hamza Shimaya approach went against Chicos Duplice for the middleweight title? That he just took him down and he kept position, but he never went for a submission finish, a submission attack.
It's, and I'm sure like very effective, extremely effective. Um, it really, if you're talking about even real world, something like that would be very effective. Because you can wear them out. They will expend their energy before the person holding them down does. The problem is it's incredibly boring and will not bring any viewers to any sport that allows that to happen. So,
Yeah, that's why Nick Diaz was complaining back in the day against people because they were just taking down, just wearing down. They're not trying to go for
hmm.
submission.
Hmm.
And he was mad about that.
Right.
But yeah, but also there's something about jujitsu. There's a big thing that position over submission.
Right.
Always choose better position than trying to go for the submission finish.
Hmm.
In boxing, they call it either you win the round or you win the match. You can win both.
Hmm.
If you try
Hmm.
to finish the fight and finish the round, you don't get the decision.
Yeah.
Got a bigger picture. So you try, but also for the sport as entertainment wise, it's not fun for the casuals. You see somebody ragdoll somebody, just keep it down in the crucifix
Right.
with a
Yes.
with a submission. It's not the thing for like not everybody watches like football for the strategy, like who has like better passes, things like that, and nobody's scoring
Hmm.
anything. That's why soccer's considered boring.
Right.
There's not much scoring going on.
Right.
Because a football game is twice as long as a soccer game, yet people watch it all the time.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. But yeah, football is constantly scoring. I mean, you get
Yeah,
very few games that are low scoring games in that.
yeah. And usually that league itself, they encourage offensive players.
Right.
That's why a lot of like flags and penalties punish is the defense rather than the offense, other than like
Hmm.
false starts and things like that. The
Hmm.
information. But usually offense don't get penalized much as defenders.
Yeah. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about that as much, but that does make sense.
Roughing the passer, pass interference.
Yep.
Um, they have different stuff. Like you before, you used to like just tackle the quarterback and just let me index against the ground. No, if you tackle them, you cannot touch them as they hit the ground. You have to brace impact. If you land on top of them, they consider a foul.
Hmm.
For some reason, because you don't want to hurt the quarterback. So those are the guys that bring the most money.
Yep.
Those are the jersey sellers.
Yes. Yes, they are.
And for the most time, they're the time managers too.
The time manager. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that is, yeah, that is interesting. How much
Usually, the team
more?
that yeah,
What's up?
time position is a factor. Kind of like in MMA, like how much advantage you have, like a time of on top and things like that.
Hmm.
Time possession usually is the one that has controlling the score. So if you have a quarterback that's in the field longer than the other one, usually the one that stays in the field longer wins, unless it just keeps scoring and scoring and scoring. You just pay much
Right. Yeah.
just scoring out the get go, but really seldom you see that.
Right.
But it's not entertaining just to watch them just um like they call it like ball hoggers, like in other sports, but in
Hmm.
MMA, just like a decision, just nightmare. Usman, he used to like ragdoll people
Hmm.
to a decision
That,
with a
yeah.
go for submission attempt.
Right. Well, and that's why people loved the Danaher Death Squad back in the day, because they trained that they wanted to submit, and
Yeah,
people love to see that. Uh, Jiu-jitsu with submissions is a sport that people would watch, but that's, I think that's why the gi jiu-jitsu is very, it's not nearly as popular.
yeah.
Um, it's just slower. There's less offensive moves. Um, yeah, and
Is that the reason why they make advantage points? Because it's so boring, they like not much of going on.
the reason they made advantage points, maybe I've, I guess maybe because there's enough stalemates, you know,
Mhm.
where nobody's scoring anything, so at least you have advantage points where it's, somebody did something and you can quantify that. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, in
But
wrestling they had a different like they call it reference criteria. So for example, two guys are going to each other and they have the same score. The guy that scored the last point wins if they
mhm,
have like the same because he encouraged the guy that going for it at the end of the match.
right.
And also, if another reference criteria is whoever scored the highest point move wins. So, for example, one guy did a
Hmm,
4 point move, but another guy got 4 points by pushing the other guy out of bounds. It's 4-4, but the guy
hmm,
that did a 4 point move is the one that gets awarded the win because
that's interesting. That seems, yeah, I mean, seems like a good way to encourage, like, maybe flashier moves. I don't know,
yeah, like for
maybe
example,
that
like
for lack of a
knee
better
on belly
word.
back takes and things like that, rather than just
Hmm.
guard pass. But there's
Right.
no point
Yes.
to any like back takes. You know, they go
Hmm.
mount, no knee on belly, no nothing. Just getting
Hmm.
like guard pass, half guard. It really is it really like worth it the match.
Right.
So it will encourage them to go to a better position rather than just playing patty cakes.
Right.
In which I'm looking forward to see how Toro is going to do.
I know. Yeah, now that they're penalizing for, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope it makes a big difference.
Yeah, he's gonna speed up things a lot.
Yeah.
They were giving. Do you think they were giving way too much money for submissions? They're like, yeah, you got to engage. You're not giving the money. They're getting people kicked out this time. Oh, instead of giving money, getting kicked out of the.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, since they moved to the new place, there's been, I want to say, 2 out of 3 that I've gone to that were just, they dragged on. There was like no subs. People were just like, it was boring matches over and over again. So I'm really hoping this will speed it up, and I think it has a good chance to.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's almost like for whatever reason at this new place that people are just taking their time, maybe they don't want to lose in front of what at least appears to be more people. Um, I'm not
More
sure,
exposure.
but what's that?
More exposure, as far as like more people.
Right.
You see more people because the other one you see like
Hmm.
a small crowd around
Exactly.
the
Hmm.
man.
But yeah, I have high hopes that if it's a boring match and the ref can start speeding things up by penalizing,
Yeah.
that's a good deal.
You can start calling action green, action red, like
Right.
whoever makes no doing something, then they
I
encourage them.
wonder if they have to wait till the points. Probably not. I would hope not. You know what I
Hopefully,
mean?
so
Yeah.
that'll be in like 5 minutes at least.
Right. Yeah.
But I can see that probably win to the points
Mm,
because so that way they give a chance for them to like try and go or not go for submission the first time.
right. That's true. Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, that would be fun to see him
Hmm.
speed things up alone. Uh, Another thing I was gonna bring up was the viral video of Asho Speed versus Vanessa Demopoulos, the UFC fighter. Um, they were doing a video. He was recording with them. Let me see if I can share this. Let me know when you see my screen.
Yeah. That's it.
So, so this is he like took her back. I'll let you watch the video. Let me know what you think. Oh, in the wrong video. There you go.
Dang. So he not only lost the back, gets taken down.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Oh,
The
gets
Williams guy. Ojo Plata.
dang. Yeah.
She was slapping him around right there.
So funny. It
And
really
then
is funny to see people that like have no idea, and so they're using all muscle because that's exactly what he's trying to do.
he got caught in the Gogo Plata.
Oh, that's funny.
He's letting us don't have to grab you. Like, do you think that's the problem was? I think the problem was you don't have to grapple.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, got to be one of the most humbling ways to get submitted
Yeah.
is they use their foot to
I did
choke you out.
there was another video that he went against her and she pulled guard immediately. I think it was after this. So she pulled guard immediately. He stood up and she went into a ball backside 50-50 and she cut him in a leg lock. Oh. So this time he didn't try to grab her. He just tried to walk away from her and she just grabbed the leg and just crank him. Grab his leg.
I wouldn't want to do that to him. I'd be afraid he's the kind of guy that would, spaz out or something and twist his own leg.
Oh, yeah. Instead of jumping on the cage, trying for
Yeah.
the jumping elbow
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But that's impressive. And I think a video of her, she's flexible, but she was trying like stretching and she trying to put herself in a triangle, but she's like kind of like a lotus position.
Yeah.
Like but like putting like her legs behind her neck. She's trying to do like a triangle on herself. But she's really, really flexible.
That's
Which
crazy.
makes sense on the do on Google Plata. It's hard to do. For
Right.
some
That's true.
how many people
That's,
dislocate their hip doing that?
yeah. Right. Yeah.
I used to watch a Google Plata attempt. It was like a for people that are less flexible. So you do it for a perpendicular position. So instead of going for the omoplata, you go for the Google Plata, but it's like perpendicular to them and like feed your foot under the neck and use the outside leg and put it behind their neck. So you push the head down. So you force the Google Plata that way instead of going uh uh parallel to them, like
Mhm.
straight up. You just perpendicular to them
Yeah.
because you're not as flexible to finish it from there.
Right. It's a nice little threat sometimes, just to
Mhm.
get people thinking. Does tend to open things up a little bit, at least.
Especially arm bars. Because they want to get their head out of there and arm out of there immediately, and they
Yep.
opens up arm bar immediately from there. But I know that she was like her grappling was that good.
Yeah.
Was it like the like backside 50-50 that she went into?
Hmm.
Like, oh, like, oh, she got him.
Pretty slick transition into that.
Yeah, like he has no chance.
No, no, that's
What do
funny.
you
He
think?
kind of a goofball himself. So
Yeah. Um. What do you like? What do you think about these stunts? Like, do you think he'll grow the sport, reaching new fans, or they just like sideshow spotlight for like real fighters?
I think it'll probably bring in some people. I mean, maybe not a ton, but I don't think it'll hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's better than the Charles Strickland approach.
yeah, yeah, a lot.
Yeah, because at least you could see this is like a playful way.
Right.
I think Katzengano did some like that. I think Holly Holm did other ones too. In which I think Holly Holmes, I can't remember who she was grappling against, that she was able like to grab him and submit him. But it is good to see those interactions like between like influencers. Because I think Forrest Griffin is the one that talks about that fighting is the ultimate sport, because whenever you're in a basketball game, in a soccer game, baseball game, if you're not able to settle the score in a sport way, you throw fisticuffs and start fighting each other. That's all-
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's the baseline, really.
yeah. For anybody, the one thing they have in common is fighting. So I mean, if you
Yep.
get more people in the sport, um, like especially the grappling part, because as you can tell in the video, he like completely clueless on what to do.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Just full on like muscling to to turn her over, and she's not that big.
Yeah. But
That's funny.
you're in the quicksand.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
You
You
think that muscle is going to get you out, but it doesn't do nearly as much as you think.
yeah. I didn't know how athletic he was. Like he did like a race against another guy. And he can run fast as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. I don't know who's the influencer that was doing like those videos. They wake up at 4 in the morning. He put his face in cold ice, um,
Ooh, I feel like
ice
there's a lot of
water.
them.
They talk about their morning routine. They do like their prayer. They go for a swim. They put like a specific like time. They're like really like buff guy that he was
Yeah.
like a video of him running behind a car or something like that. How
Yeah.
fast he was, running against other people, how fast he was, and then he did like a race against Show Speed. He said one day he slipped, and then another one he raced against him, and he just burned him every time.
Really?
Show Speed burned him every time. Wow, I can't remember what his uh top speed is, um, because he also like over 20 miles per hour. Um,
What? Dang. I mean, it is in his name.
yeah, he actual speed is a 40-yard dash is 4.44, which a regular NFL player is 4.4. It was recorded in the NFL draft. He clocked
Really?
he had clocked at 10.5 seconds at 100 meters training the Olympic coach. That's pretty fast.
That's crazy. Yeah.
100 meters.
My gosh, I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's impressive. But as athletic as he is,
Yeah.
you don't have to
Not
be
a
fast.
chance. Not a chance. Yeah.
You
He
should
better
be
use that speed. If she actually gets mad at him, he better use that speed.
yeah, take off running. Get a running star somewhere.
Right.
But for instance, testing the waters. Let's move to Olympic champion stepping back into the combat sport. Gable, the Dutch Stevenson. He's trying dirty boxing now. He has a dirty boxing match in Nashville, Tennessee. Um, which interesting. He has many matches uh line up despite having a turf toe that sidelined him away from.
Yeah, it's really an amazing recovery right there.
Dude, the power, the power wheel, man. You power the thing.
That's right.
But it looks like October 30th at the Pinnacle in Nashville, Tennessee, he'll be facing Billy Swanson. Um, he facing him his record. Billy Swanson, he's 31 years old, has a professional MMA record of 4-3, which includes appearances in the Bellator and PFL Challenger Series. His last combat sport outing was a bare knuckle boxing fight on their bare knuckle fighting combat, and then in August where he lost against Bear Hill. I keep like getting confused. Like they are like their names are weird. Like bare knuckle in slap fighting. Like those personalities that as they because you have MMA personalities, you had those personalities, the people that do bare knuckle in slap fight.
Right. I mean, I feel like the bare knuckle people are all like screws loose kind of people.
Yeah.
Um, slap boxing, to be honest, I don't know anybody who's done other than Paige Van Zandt. I think she did it, but other than that, I don't know.
But you consider that boxing or not really? Because so much
No,
bobbing and weaving from
absolutely
there.
not. Absolutely not. No, I'm not. There's probably technique in the swing. There may be technique in how you take it, but like that's not. It's not a worthwhile martial arts skill to train.
Yeah, if you had to put cotton swabs inside you so you don't get a concussion, there's so much technique that you can do
Right.
on that.
Right.
Something they do put cotton swab in the ears. To bust their eardrums.
Dude. Yeah. No. That yeah. So dumb. I can't believe that was ever a thing. But
I see that some of them are like retired MMA fighters are going into bare knuckle fighting. For example, Yo Romero, but he's not
hmm
retired, but he's going into bare knuckle fighting.
hmm
Alan Belcher, Chris Lieben, um, crazy guy, Perry,
Mike Perry.
Mark Perry, Mike
Mike.
Perry, yeah,
Yep.
he's up there.
Yep.
Um, Gabriel Gonzaga, Bigfoot Silva, they're over there
hmm
going um into those kind of sport like afterwards.
I feel like that's got to be partially because the pay is less and the competition is less because there's not that many people that want to do it. Granted, the damage is a lot more, so I don't know why you'd retire and go and do that. But
The cuts,
if
especially.
exactly, yeah, it's brutal. To your fists, I can't imagine how like they probably can't use their hands after doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they have to wrap their hands a certain way too.
Right.
So they you will break your hand immediately. Because
Right.
there's so many small bones in your hand,
hmm
and then they cut it. Do you agree that Pride rule for no elbows to like prevent cuts? That's the reason that they didn't do elbows in Pride, even if you kick somebody in the head. But elbows were illegal because you can cut somebody and still the person that got cut still go on in the tournament. But it doesn't make for a better fight next fight because it could be doctor stoppage in the first round.
Right. Hmm.
But somebody that gets kicked, it gets knocked out, it's game over. It's
Right.
not like we'll go to the next match.
hmm Yeah, I feel like I mean when you're talking next rounds, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it just does. Um, I don't know. I feel like elbows are a pretty good addition. You know, it's another significant tool that they can use.
Especially when you have fighting against somebody that's coming a flurry towards you. You can use your elbows to keep them at bay.
Right. Yeah. And it's so effective.
Hmm.
in reality, I feel like, yeah, hitting somebody with your elbow is so much better idea than hitting him with your fist because
You
there's less
literally,
small bones.
yeah,
There's
that's the thing.
yeah, it's yeah, so powerful, and you can
It's like
generate a lot of force with it too.
having the end of a baseball bat
Mhm,
available.
mhm, and for a lot of people, it's kind of a pointy end too. It's not even
Yeah, that in the heel, the
Mhm,
bone of the heel, dude. It's like a sledgehammer on
right,
your bottom of your foot.
mhm,
What's the name was good at Terry Adam got a wrong end of that against Barbosa.
mhm.
As Barbosa when he did a spinning heel kick, boom, completely he plank in the middle of the air. It's stiff baggers, but they're really efficient.
Yes.
But what do you think about Gil Stevenson? Um, trying striking now, trying to get better at striking. Now,
Mhm.
since he's trying to transition from grappling into MMA.
I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of people doing that, you know? There's a lot of people transferring from wrestling to MMA because MMA seems to have more of a available future, I would say. You know, because I mean, wrestling you can go, pretty far, but it seems like it's a smaller selection of people, a smaller pool that's being chosen from. I could be wrong on that, but for like
Yeah,
MMA, I feel like it's a good transition. It wrestling to MMA is a really good transition because it's so effective in that area. You know, the grind is there, the technique is there. It just works really well. And then with MMA growing, yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense
yeah, and you have
personally.
more venues too. Because also the thing about wrestling is that there's no promotions for wrestling other than making the national team and
Right.
competing for your country. If
Hmm.
you don't make the team, there's a lot of good guys out there that if you have more weight class in the Olympics, to you to have made the team. I mean, for
Hmm.
example, Train Highly, he just won worlds at a non-Olympic weight class. So
Okay.
that's one of the guys like is being right there. But if you don't make the team, there's like, what do you do? You don't get no
Hmm.
sponsors, nothing, no money from sponsors. You only just hope that you have a good Olympic training center to be able to help you to get by. But other than that, you're not getting no sponsors. No, other than just going training with other people, doing seminars or things like that. Yeah, also most of the exposure you get is from what you win during your competition. If you don't get exposed of your technique, on how good your technique is, how are you able to get any seminars to get calls for anything like that?
Hmm.
So that
Yeah.
make it difficult for make it difficult for wrestling compared to
Hmm.
MMA. You have different you have PFL, you have other organizations that you can compete in. You have the UFC, Contender Series, all those stuff. Ultimate Fighter, you have any to go in there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's not only more venues, but it's more like open spots. There's really no limit to how many people they can accept.
Yeah,
So,
speaking of Tommy Gann, he just got signed by the UFC.
mhm,
You know what's Contender Series? In the last year, he is 11-1. He had 12 matches,
that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
11 wins, one no contest, zero losses.
Yep.
12 matches. How crazy is that?
That's pretty impressive.
He was getting after it.
And what time period did you say that was?
12 months.
12 months.
12
My
matches. 12.
God. So, yeah, that's not even training for anybody specific. It's just getting better, you know?
Yeah. He comes out of NC State, the Wolfpack.
Yep.
I think he was an assistant coach there too for the wrestling team
Hmm.
because he wrestled with them. I think back in 2015, that's when he graduated from them. But he was assistant coach there for the OTC Olympic Training Center, and now he's doing MMA.
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
matches.
That's crazy. Yeah. Means yeah, he didn't have time to train for specific people. He also didn't take much damage in any of those matches, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy. That means he blew out 12 people or 11 people, sorry.
yeah, that's a lot of matches.
That is.
I mean, that's a wrestling mentality because also wrestling is a lot of tournaments.
Mhm.
That biggest tournament in the year, the biggest title of the year is in the tournament. If you happen to lose one of those rounds, you go into a wasteland tournament that you have to wrestle back for third place.
Yep.
In third place, sometimes it takes like 7, 8 matches
Mhm.
just to get third place. It teaches you something.
Somebody needs to tell this guy this isn't a tournament.
Yeah. He didn't get the memo. He was getting a tournament to get into the ultimate. I mean,
All
the
right,
league.
when's my next match?
Yeah, but also I think he's 33 years old. I think he's 32 years old. He's born in
Oh
'93.
wow.
Yeah, so he had to get that many matches.
Yeah. He's got to climb quick. He's going to lose his opportunity.
Yeah, he's 32 years old. But also, I also noticed wrestlers they usually come to MMA later in the. You all remember was 30. DC was 30 as
Hmm.
well. Randy Couture was he's 32
Mhm.
whenever he came into MMA.
Yep. I do wonder if they are doing that well at 32, if they won't have a slower drop off than the average. You know what I mean? What is the average age, like 36 is the drop off point for
30,
most
yeah,
people?
35, 36, yeah.
35,
It
36.
depends the weight class because heavier guys, they're not really because power is the last thing that goes away.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody like freaking Euro Romero, this Cuban Missile Christ, he has the technique from a lighter weight, like from 185, and he
Hmm.
goes to the heavyweight, still has the power and the speed, and he still has the technique that he has over the years from
Hmm.
boxing, MMA, and wrestling from under the Cuban system.
Yep.
So it's like a superpower, and he's built like a freaking brick house too.
Right. That definitely helps.
Yeah, the genetics.
Yep.
I forgot to mention it, but I saw today that UFC quality part ways with Ryan Hall and Nick Diaz. They were released by the UFC.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait, did you say Nate Diaz?
Nick Diaz.
Nick. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and Ryan Hall, the Wizard.
Really?
Yeah, he also only lost. He's 5-1 in the UFC, but his only
Mhm.
loss was in Ilya Tuporia. But
Dang.
also, Ryan Hall is 40 years old,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he hasn't competed recently. He had 19 surgeries.
Oh my God.
Yeah, remember we went over. I don't know if he has to do with his being in leg locks a lot, but I think
Mhm.
he had a plate in his heel that he had to get implant for, and I think he was allergic to the metal. He had to like remove the hardware and try it again. Did the
Mhm.
cadaver, didn't take, and all the like. He think he is the coach or Cody Hagen that he's fighting. I didn't. Is he fighting this weekend? I think Cody Hagen is fighting against Laurent whenever they're fighting against each other.
Okay. Mhm.
But Ryan Hall is his primary um coach for the grappling part, which makes sense
Interesting.
why his leg locks are good.
Right.
Because Ryan Hall is nasty.
Hmm.
But I didn't know that they were released by the UFC.
No, that's yeah. I mean, Nick is less surprising to me, but
Yeah, and he lost against Robbie Lawler. It was initially was set up for 170 pounds, but then it was a catch weight afterwards.
okay.
Um, he was inactive for a while too after the Anderson Silva fight. I think
Mhm.
he who would know he would test positive for cannabis. Who knew that?
Yeah, never would have guessed.
Who saw that one coming? Meanwhile, he's laying down on the ground asking for Anderson Silva to come down to the ground. He turned his back against Anderson Silva in the middle of the fight. Who knew that he was going to test positive? You have to be out of your mind or hot as stone to the gills to try to do Anderson
Yeah,
Silva.
right.
But yeah, he was released by the UFC recently. I know that.
No.
But I know Ryan Hall was that old either.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that either. But I mean, yeah, huh. I feel like I mean he hasn't competed fought in a while. He also for jiu-jitsu guys, I feel like his fights were fun to watch, but I don't know if he really brought a whole lot of viewers to the UFC. I feel like that's a huge factor
Yeah.
to being,
I, yeah. I think for the longest he had an issue because he was able to get matchups.
mm, okay.
That's one thing he was having trouble with. He was able to get matchups because people didn't want to go against him.
It's too
Which,
good.
yeah, I can remember was it Pereira or Glover Teixeira? He had a problem too. But me, if you're in an organization for the fighting and you're afraid of fighting, what are we doing?
True. Yeah, very, very true.
Scared money, don't make money. The saying goes. But you have to. I wish I don't know because also he had to. It looks like he's at the end of his career. Had so many. I mean, after surgeries during that time.
Mhm.
I don't think he will be like doing much striking or MMA.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't think. No.
He can go into grappling maybe, but he's gonna be the next UFC BJJ. Even
Yeah, yeah. Hey, get him on there. That'd be cool to see. Be
yeah,
good.
it's him versus Musumeshi.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he'd
Because,
get dominated there, but
yeah, because I think he's 145. Right House 145, I think. And
okay.
Musumeshi I think 135. I can't remember,
Yeah,
but just as an exhibition match,
yeah.
see how
It'd
they
be
do it.
it'd be cool.
Yeah. But we're in that subject of MMA history, like the another big moments. Let's talk about the sport legend of Mark Kerr, the coming movie about him, the Smash Machine, which they had The Rock, Emily Blunt, and other fighters in there that actually competed in which Ryan Bader is going to be playing Mark Coleman. Alexander Usyk, he's the world heavyweight champion in boxing. I want to say he's playing a Russian there from back in the day from when Mark Kerr was in prime.
Okay.
And El Guapo, speaking of, circle back to Bas Rutten, he's going to be in the movie as well.
Yes,
I think he's gonna
sir.
be one of the coaches in there. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Also, he was a commentator for Prime too. Basrun,
Yeah.
which is good, like a callback for Prime. Him and Mauro Ranello, they were the commentators for Prime.
Okay.
I don't know if
No.
you've seen the video whenever Mauro Ranello first started with Prime, and it's only to do an interview with Krokop. Um, Krokop was playing with him like, "Hey, were you the guy that talking bad about me? I don't want to talk to you. Get out here." And then Krokop was pretending that he was pissed off. And then the producer like, "Nah, just go back in there, finish your interview." He's like, "Dude, he's mad at me. Like, finish the interview, go back in there." And we're like, "Dude, get out of here. I want to see you." He's like, "Dude, he's pissed off at me. He's gonna try to kill." I wasn't the one that was. He was talking about another commentator that said something about him, that Krokop, but he was afraid of telling Krokop that he's another guy that said that. Then Bashir started laughing. So they was joking, like, dude, he was pissed. He was scared, like, and pissed off at the same time because like, it wasn't
That's
me.
funny.
Poor Moro. And then, like, of course, Bas Rutten set him up, and that was
Right.
typical Bas Rutten fashion. But for this one, The Rock and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, she's a good actress. Like I've seen in Sicario, she was a good actress in there. It's an action movie.
Mhm.
But this is the Marker story. He was one of the most dominant heavyweights in MMA in the earlier years. He was in the UFC. I think he had a fight contract with the UFC, but he only did two of them, I think 13 and 14. And after that, he Prime reached out to him. and that's why he ended up in Prime competing. Um, he battled with addiction, personal demons, made his career in one of the most tragic yet compelling like stories in combat sport. He had like combat. He had a lot of, I can't remember if it was anxiety, but he's like a really well mannered guy. Like he talks like really soft, but when he went in there, he was beast mode. One of his fights that like stick out was whenever he was in Brazil, when he got his nickname the Smashing Machine. He submitted somebody by sticking his shins in somebody's eye socket.
Dang.
One of the submissions that just ugh, into the eyeball.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, another guy he like busted all his teeth out during a fight. Um, but hopefully it will be like a huge win not only for MMA fans. It's just a different aspect of The Rock, other than just being a big blockbuster action
Hmm.
hero guy playing a biopic. And hopefully, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Wrestler by Mickey Rourke back in the day,
Hmm.
because he was like big impact in pro wrestling when that movie came out. Because he shows a different aspect of how pro wrestlers they go like their lifestyle and how rough it is.
Hmm.
If working so many nights, drinking, that and also like trying to like keep up with that schedule is difficult, and there's like not much reward. And that's what it was back then in the old wild west of MMA. It was frowned upon sport. It was brutal considering the time.
Hmm.
S- So, could this be the movie that finally puts MMA early legends in the big screen in a serious way?
I hope so. I mean, I'm curious what you think about it, but like, I feel like a lot of the MMA movies or fighting movies in general just aren't. I don't know. A lot of them just don't hit right. The
Yeah,
actors just don't do them justice.
yeah. I wonder if they do a lot too much fuckery in movies, trying to make it like too like, for example, like two brothers fight each other like Warrior, the movie. They
Yeah.
like fighting each other, but this more like a biopic and show that like that life outside the cage rather than just like being that guys and fighting like
Hmm.
things like that. Showing the the training part, um, was the aftermath. I can't remember why he got in trouble. He was so addicted to like painkillers in Japan. I think that's what it was. I think it's something like was illegal, so that's why he had to like get stuff prescribed. Like I had to see what it was. I can't remember what it was that he had trouble because early in the early 2000s they did a documentary about him. I think it's the Smashing Machine too. It was by HBO as well. It was just trying to show him in his prime, but actually show his life how like he was crumbling apart because of his painkiller addiction.
Okay. Hmm. That is interesting.
Yeah. So that'll be it. Kind of like rest because a lot of people like heroes movies, but being hero takes a lot of stuff. And I was like, like he is not just the glamour and things like that. You have the other things behind. You have like working up to the long training hours and
Hmm.
things you have to give up, time you have to give up with your family.
Hmm.
And not everybody is a Conor McGregor that just slinging weights with his dick and living the lifestyle. And some of the ones they had to like pull the time to be able to get there
Right.
and sacrifice. So it kind of relates with other people that are watching the movie as well, that they had to sacrifice things in life, in their jobs that they do, so that we're able to provide for the family. And
Hmm.
some people have addiction problems. It might not be painkillers, it might be alcohol, it might be food, or other kind of addiction, gambling addiction, in which
Hmm.
and personal demons that they battle. So it kind of like resonate with the regular people rather than just showing a action movie of fighting.
Right.
It doesn't resonate. Not everybody, it's the upper echelon of fighting. Not everybody can do it, but the other like the bigger, like stepping back and showing the whole picture of what it's like being living that lifestyle and the
Hmm.
negotiation part of two big organizations at the time. It was Pride and UFC. in the
Hmm.
early days in which they weren't getting paid as much as they do nowadays.
Right. I think, yeah, I think too that can be fairly inspiring to realize like what they worked through, because it's pretty easy to think like, oh, they're professionals, they just train all the time, that's all they do, of course they can, but no, a lot of them started out like working their normal job and then making sure that they went to training every day, and things that are they're very difficult, because I mean, you work all day, you're tired, you come home, you sit on the couch, or you can go train. Like, they chose
Yeah.
to go train. That's why they're there. It's not because they're like, um I mean, a lot of them are, talented individuals for sure. I'm not taking that away, but um that's not all it is. It takes a lot of hard work on top of that.
Yeah, and not everybody makes it. That's the thing.
Right.
So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's not a guaranteed story. So there's also the hopelessness of it
yeah,
sometimes.
what's the saying that success happen with preparation opportunity meet.
Mm,
So you can prepare yourself, but if that opportunity, that door doesn't open, good good luck, man. You have like a bright manager, you're stuck in limbo. You're
mhm,
working your ass off, trying to provide for your family, trying to build a career in which you can
mhm,
in the wrong people. So hopefully they'll be able to this movie will be able to bring that to the front for people to see. Because back then, I mean, he wrestled Randy Couture. Because he came from the wrestling world. I think he wrestled for Syracuse. He actually tried. I can't remember. He made the Olympic team or the world team. Um, he wrestled against Kurt Angle as well for the position for the Olympic spot. He's like he actually came from. Then he after that he transitioned to MMA. And the funny
mhm.
thing was full circle. The reason he started wrestling was because he watched pro wrestling as a little kid, and that's why he started wrestling in high school. Mark her. And now the guy that plays him in a biopic is a pro wrestler, The Rock.
Right.
How funny is that?
Yeah, that is funny.
Full circle.
Yeah,
If he actually a pro wrestling guy portray him in his MMA career, his early life.
yeah, that is cool. Hopefully it gives The Rock some insight to play the part well.
Yeah, because he according to Marker, The Rock reached out to him about this movie. He's trying to do this movie and try and make the biopic. Back in 2019, he wanted to announce it in the BMF Title Fight versus Masvidal versus Nate Diaz,
Hmm.
Madison Square Garden. That's when they got a green light for it. The movie started recording for it. Um, according like it was premiere was September 1st in Venice, and according they had like an 8 minute standing ovation, people clapping after the movie,
Wow.
and like good like reviews on the movie.
Mm,
But also that I don't know how legit it is Venice compared to the rest of the people watching movies. Why?
right.
Because like, how many times you seen like critics criticize a movie when you watch it, you like it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Or often, more often for me, it's like the critics love it and I can't stand
Yeah,
it.
a
So
life of pi. Like, what the fuck is the life of pi?
yeah,
Boring
yeah.
as shit. Like, what are you watching? I can't understand this shit at all.
Yeah.
And they give like Pulp Fiction 0 stars. Like, dude, I like Pulp Fiction.
Right.
But hopefully, do you even watch Baywatch, the remake with The
Yes.
Rock?
Yeah.
They gave that movie like 0 stars, like the critics.
Yeah.
It was funny as shit, but
It
they're
was
like,
it was pretty funny. I did like that one.
yeah, but still like one of the worst movies of the year. That's what they rated.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
it was. I like it. Zac Efron was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's really funny. Hmm.
Yeah, and The Rock was funny too.
Mhm.
But hopefully they will be good reviews in this movie because it like spotlight like now like UFC is doing good or doing well fighters that they had like the pioneer wing in the Hall of Fame because you had Pride wing, you have the five wings, and other like different areas for the Hall of Fame. But pioneers, I think was it Vito Belfort? I think he was in Vandal Silva were announced that they were going to be in the pioneer wing
Okay.
for
Hmm.
the for no probably Vito would be pioneer and Vandal would be Pride wing.
Hmm.
Considering also another thing in consideration was Vandal Silva was going back to Vandal Silva was banned from the UFC for life because he ran away from the USA testing back when he was
Hmm.
supposed to schedule to fight just on it. But now he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. How crazy is that?
Dang, he's
How did
really
he get
been on both sides of it. That's crazy.
yeah, how did he get banned from the UFC for life or banned like altogether because you know and then you end up in the Hall of Fame regardless?
Yep.
It's wild.
Hmm. Must have done pretty good.
Yeah. His career spoke for himself. The axe
Hmm.
murderer, Vanderlei Silva, when he
Yep.
was in prime. Some
I
of those
guess.
guys,
Yeah, the undeniable career.
yeah. Like you had to bring him. I wonder if the UFC will bring Fedor into the prime because they purchased prime and Fedor was one of the guys that was in heavyweight. He was destroying everybody.
That's a good. Hmm. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know because they haven't brought Randy Couture. Randy Couture is one of the pioneers, and also well, he is not a Hall of Famer in the UFC because he has some issues with
That's
them.
surprising to me. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, Randy Couture is like such a yeah, so famous.
Yeah,
Really.
I want to say at one point it was like 90% of his fights were title fights.
Dang.
Yeah, because he is against Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, Vito Belfort, um, Brock Lesnar, Team Sylvia, like all of those were like title fights that he had in his career.
Hmm.
And I mean, he has to be up there as far as like Hall of Fame.
Hmm.
And also, one of the two. He's one of the double champs in the UFC. One of the first ones.
Really?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was light heavyweight and heavyweight champion.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, they gotta put him in. That's
Yeah,
that's what problems did he have with the UFC?
I think I want to say it was the video game rights or something like that. Like
Hmm.
he didn't want to like be there. He didn't want to give up his rights of for the game,
Hmm.
or he was part of the lawsuit, class action lawsuit that the UFC lost recently. Um, I think what's his name? Kong Lee was one another guy that was part of the class action lawsuit against the UFC. I'm not sure if that had to be with it. Um, but I think well, he left and then he came back. Benedict two was one of those guys that left and came back. I remember when he lost against Brock Lesnar. Around the time he was, I think it was like filming Scorpion King 2, something like that, some movie.
Hmm.
But then he came back and that's when he came back. I think in light heavyweight. He wasn't fighting heavyweight anymore. He fought against Little Machida. He lost it. He got knocked out there. That's why he retired altogether in Canada. But I can't remember. Let's look it up. Why is Randy Couture um not with the UFC like in the Hall of Fame? Because um he's right now a commentator for PFL.
Wow. Hmm.
Um they said me being past tension and dispute the UFC social disagreement or fighter likeness. Yeah, that's what it was. Fighters likeness and then rights.
Hmm.
Well, never mind. He got inducted into correction. He got inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in 2006, but he was still fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yes, six-time UFC champion, two weight classes.
Hmm.
He had a rocky relationship with Dana White. This issue stem from disagreement over ancillary rights likeness for video games and Couture departure from an analyst role. He was a commentator at 1.2 for the UFC.
Hmm.
Some sources suggest that Couture has been blacklisted or canceled by the UFC, which leads to less promotion or mention of him in official or UFC content, even though he's in the Hall of Fame. Uh, Maybe it's a video game because some fighters that were fighting back against it. I think John Fitch was one of the other guys too that was fighting against the. If you didn't sign the contract to be in the video game, you were getting fired. I think John Fitch got fired at one point, and then he signed like his rights for image and likeness,
Hmm.
and he got signed back again. He got hired again, which is crazy
Hmm. Yeah, that's.
over a video game.
I know that's what's kind of blowing my mind. Is that seems like such a crazy thing for all that to happen.
Yeah, and the thing about it was, UFC was not with EA Sport before. They're trying to get to EA Sport, and um, they like give the green light, so they went the other way. But I think after UFC 4, they're with EA Sport now. Even though, you know what, you talk so much shit about EA Sport. Now that like also Dana White's one of those guys that sometimes he gets on rants and shit. He gets against other people,
Yeah.
and then he changes his mind. Like, you know what? I changed my mind. I was wrong about that. Little
I,
too,
I may have spoke a little too soon.
yeah, a little too carry away, perhaps. Uh, Speaking of, I think EA Sports just got purchased.
Hmm.
They got purchased by somebody, and they by Saudi Arabia deal, and they got removed from being a public entity. You know, you had like stocks and
Yep.
shares.
Mhm.
They're a private entity now. They're giving people like $210 per share.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much money he was bought up. $55 billion deal.
Wow. Okay.
That's
55
crazy.
billion. That's yeah. That's hard to imagine.
Because how many board like video games they go through them?
Quite a lot.
Mhm.
That seems like a strange move. I haven't heard of many companies moving from public to private like that. Usually, it's the opposite.
Yeah, to make more money
Right.
that way. But I'm not. Say like EA's Electronic Arts. That's what it main has been purchased and is being taken private in a $55 billion deal, concerning including Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the private equity firm Silver Lake, and Jared Kushner Affinity Partners. That's what's the name's husband? He's Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
He's what?
Donald Trump's son-in-law.
Oh, really?
I was his daughter Ivanka.
Huh.
Yeah, Ivanka's husband. That's his name. Jared Kushner Affinity Partners. That's that's part of the purchase. The acquisition is a record-setting private equity buyout. The EA's shareholders will receive $210 per share, and the company CEO Andrew Wilson is expected to remain in his executive role after the deal, which is anticipated to close the second quarter of 2026.
Hmm.
How much money does Saudi Arabia have to buy all this stuff? Because they're in video games, they're into MMA, boxing, in a lot of soccer teams that are being bought up by them. These
Hmm.
like buying Airbnb for them, just buying like different stuff like that.
Right. I mean, yeah. The thing is that they've got to because they've made the money off oil,
Yeah, and they
and
don't
now
have.
there's a push. Now there's a push to get rid of that. So they have to
Yeah,
invest in other things.
yeah, that's crazy because they, for the longest they didn't have to disclose how much money they have.
Mm.
How many people there are like in the Forbes top 10 richest men? Like, no, how many of there are from Saudi Arabia? They don't have to tell how rich they are.
That's valid. Yeah, that's very true.
Uh, Hey, I got money, okay? I don't want
I got
anything else.
enough. I
Yeah,
got enough.
well enough. You see the country right there? Yeah, that's investment. No, that is wild. I like much like I remember like for example the promotion that the Dana White did for the Canelo fight. Terence Crawford also was Saudi money as well.
Hmm,
That's a lot of money, man.
yeah.
I need better friends, man, with money.
Yeah, right.
Let's go find us. Hey, if you're Saudi Arabia, you listen to this podcast. Send us a message on Spotify. We can use some help. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that covered it.
Okay. Yeah, close us.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. That wraps up today's episode. Let's see. What did we cover? We covered everything from Wanderlei Silva, the wild brawl where he got knocked out, Jake Matthews' controversial loss, Show Speed tapping out via Gogo Plata, um, Gable Stevenson's upcoming Dirty Boxing and MMA, potential MMA fights. Um, the Mark Kerr new movie coming out. What is that? Smashing Machine. Sorry. Um, yeah. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your training partners, drop a review, drop us a like, shoot us a message if you want. Uh, Listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Thanks again. Until next time, stay sharp,